I got
unique
another
thing.
food subject. The McRib was released for $1.69 on at McDonald's.
That's more than a cup of beer at fucking Soldier Stadium.
I wonder if it was just. I didn't look. I wonder if it was just a sandwich or it was like a combo
I don't
thing.
know. It probably
I
was.
didn't look.
I'm guessing it probably was just the McRib based on some of the other fast food things I saw that might
Yeah.
indicate.
So I did a little research into it. So Roger Mandigo was an animal scientist that they found that used quote unquote restructured meat. So this is the first time anybody had done this. He had been working on it for nearly a decade, and he called it the trimmings of the animal, but they used like the organs and the skin and like pieces that they usually wouldn't use or eat,
Yeah.
especially in America. But yeah, and then they would reform it, adding like salt and water and make it like the shape of the McRib. So that was like the
That's-
first time anybody ever did that. But they do it all the time now. If you ever had a chicken
yeah.
nugget from anywhere, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy that that wasn't a process. I mean, I feel like that would have been around for forever, you know?
Yeah, but I guess it's just like getting the right amount of things. You know what I mean? Because or it just tastes like liver or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's so weird though. I wonder, is it still like that? I wonder.
I'm sure the process is different at this point, but yeah, I mean, it's still the basic concept of a lot of
Yeah.
way foods are made now.
And you know, it's like
Or,
growing up, you heard that all the time about like hot dogs and bologna. That's what that stuff was, you know?
yeah, but like bologna, like mortadella had been around for a long time. And
Right.
that's like what bologna is basically. But I'm sure that's the same process. It's just a bunch of ground up meat stuck together, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess this is just taking the offal and stuff like that and making something specific out of those. I
Yeah.
guess. Have you ever had a McRib?
No, I never have. I
I,
wanted to
I
go get one just because saw this, but I don't even know
yeah.
if they're around right now.
Right. They're annoying. It's like they leave and come back. It's stupid. My
Yeah.
mom loves them though, and like as a kid, she would get one every time they came out. She'd get so excited about it, and like I think I might have tried a bite of it before, but they're very weird because I hated onions as a kid, and they're just like covered in raw onions and
Yeah.
pickles. Those are the only toppings, and so it's like if I'm getting it without onions, it feels like I'm not. It's not worth the money to pay for three ingredients, you know. So I just
Yeah.
wouldn't do it.
I would
And
try.
then
I would do it
also,
just to try it. I think because my dad really
no,
liked
no, I
it
would
too.
try it. Yeah, I would try it now because I don't mind onions. But and the other thing that's weird about them is they have little bone shapes in them. And I remember thinking that when I saw Rita, they're shaped like like a slat, whatever it's called, slab of ribs, where it's like flat and a rectangle, and then there's like little bone portions
Yeah.
sticking out, but they're just made of meat. That's so gross.
Yeah. Well, now you know why.
Yeah, I remember too thinking like, oh, what do you have to? How do you eat that sandwich? You have to eat around the bones and then pull them out, and it's like, nope, it's all just fake meat. Gross. Here's some more fast food and related information. A couple of restaurants that had been established this year: Quiznos, Papa Murphy's, Pizza Ranch, Longhorn Steakhouse, Surf City Squeeze. You
Never
remember the
heard of
Surf
that
City
one.
Squeeze at the mall? No, there was the one
Oh,
at
the
the
juice bar.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
They
yeah,
like made
yeah.
smoothies. I just had always assumed it was only at that mall that was in the town we grew up in. There are over 100 locations nationwide. I did not know Surf City Squeeze was a big, and it's still going on. It's like a big,
Wow.
yeah, been around since 1981. So
I think well, the one in the mall's still there.
is it? That's cool.
Mhm.
And that's probably what it is. It's just a mall staple, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's a good food court thing.
In the
For sure.
80s, I mean, that's the start of mall culture. I mean, they've been around before this, but this was when they really started to solidify and become a cultural hub.
Yeah.
One other fast food story I have is I watched a news report from 1981 from the BBC, and it was wildly interesting to watch. It was because it was all about how American fast food is coming and going to start taking over the UK. That they didn't have really fast food or counter service restaurants, really. There were like a couple of them, but mostly it was like diners and stuff like that. They really didn't have any fast food up until this point. And there were a couple around London and stuff like that, but there weren't any around. So I was, watching this whole story about how they're going to start taking them here and there and all these other different stuff and how much money they're putting into bringing fast food over. And the guy in the video goes to McDonald's and he orders, the Big Mac or whatever, and as he's sitting there, he's talking to the camera. He goes, "All right, let's see how long this is going to take for the food to come because it's supposed to be fast, right?" And he starts his timer on his watch. And then as he's talking to the camera, then the girl comes over and hands him his food. And he stops his watch. He's like, "Oh, 29 seconds."
Holy
And
shit.
then she goes, "All right, and here's your change." And then he reaches up and grabs her change from after he gets the food. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just super weird. Yeah, you just gave them the food. You stood there. They went and grabbed it immediately, gave it to you, and then handed you the change.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
Not
an
like-
interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it takes longer than that now.
It definitely takes longer, that's for sure. I mean, I guess, I don't know if it was just,
Less people.
or they just made them all in the morning and had them sitting out or something like that, you know?
I don't know. You'd have
don't
to
know.
look at
But
methods, I guess. I don't know.
that, the change thing, him getting the change after getting the food, it actually shows up in the movie this week. There's a brief second of somebody leaving a restaurant and then somebody else comes out after him and goes, "You forgot your change."
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, and I was like, I wouldn't have even thought anything of it, but after having read this and then watching the movie, I was like, oh, that's because that guy gave him the money first and then got the food and then they got their change after the fact, you know?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.